This might be one of the best new moons in the whole 2025 to set new intentions and manifest new beginnings. May 27th, new moon in Gemini. Let's see how this can affect every rising sign. We're gonna be also looking at previous new moon and full moon in Gemini, and also the whole cycle of Jupiter in Gemini that started last year in May. So welcome. Hey guys, my name is Jolanta. I am a Western astrologer and creator of Soulight Space Astrology. Welcome to my channel. If you like what I do, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and also you can consider sending me a virtual cup of tea for my work. There's a donation link in the description box. I also work as a professional astrologer. I do readings with my clients, one-to-one sessions. So if any of you would like to work with me, the whole information about my services, prices is in the description box. You will find there the link to my website, and you can book the reading directly from there. So now let's focus on this new moon, guys. Gemini energy, very light-hearted, very spontaneous, very intellectual, connected to travel, to movement, to changes. It's very quick, it's very fresh, it's very young. So that's the first information for us all, that we might have this very nice refreshment, this regeneration, this feeling of being young again, kind of, in this Gemini sector of our chart with this new moon. And now it depends where is that in your chart for you guys. So before we're gonna dive into the 12 sign description, I will just quickly tell you for each rising sign where is Gemini in your chart. I will tell you the number of the house. So those of you who know something about astrology, you will already have some insight about what is going on for you on May 27th. Where is this new beginning happening? And then it will be easier for you to understand the intro. So for Aries rising, for you Geminis in the 3rd house, for Taurus rising 2nd house, for Gemini rising, it's your ascendant 1st house, very important new moon. Then Cancer rising 12th house, Leo rising 11th house, Virgo rising 10th house, Libra rising 9th house, Scorpio rising 8th house, Sagittarius 7th house, Capricorn rising 6th house, Aquarius rising 5th house, and Pisces rising 4th house. We're gonna dive deeper into this later. You have timestamps always in the description box, guys. And now let's focus on the intro. So please watch this part of the video, because then I will be just giving you some additional information for each house, but the main information about this new moon is here. Okay, so what is going on with this new moon? Let me find the proper chart. So here we have the conjunction between Sun and Moon. That's the new moon in astrology, and this is marking some new start in wherever is Gemini in your chart. Gemini is very much connected to our mindset, learning, how we use our brain, you know, words, communication, how we study, writing, speaking. Also it's connected to choices and options and traveling. It might be connected to short-term travels, to driving the car. Gemini is connected also to sibling energy, local community, to social media, to, you know, those sharing information, interacting with others. So it might be very much about that. There might be some variety, mental activity here. So this is the area of Gemini in which we want to focus on, especially this part of our body, our brain. How do we use our brain? Is this something that maybe needs some new beginnings, some new paths of operating? Maybe some of you will have to have this kind of restart, just like you do with your computer or other devices, just to refresh your mental energy, your approach to things, your belief system, how you talk to yourself, how you talk to other people. If you are creating something in the internet, there might be some new beginning starting here. Also, if you have something to do with teaching or absorbing information from others, or how you just absorb facts, right? Do you check those facts? How you gain knowledge? You know, even the thing about following social media, following some accounts, even Instagram, YouTube, all those things are Gemini things, right? When we pour knowledge into our brain, and then how we process this knowledge, and then how we use this knowledge to go further, right? So this will be definitely some highest theme here in the Gemini energy. And what's more, this new moon is in conjunction to Mercury in Gemini, and this is a very good position for Mercury to be, because Mercury, Gemini, this is the same energy. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, so there is some refreshment for our mental energy and communication. Another thing is that South Node right now is in another sign ruled by Mercury, Virgo. Virgo, Gemini, these are two signs ruled by the same planet, Mercury, which talks about this mental energy. So the South Node is asking us to release something from our mental energy, controlling issues, planning too much, trying to control everything with our brain, with our thoughts, with our mental energy. You know, this classic conflict of heart versus mind. Now we have karmic nodes activating this conflict for us since January 2025, since North Node is in Pisces, which rules this heart, intuition, faith in what's coming, surrendering to the process, flowing with life, releasing control. This is what the North Node is inviting us to do more since January 2025. So it's actually heading us more towards this heart space, intuition space, letting go of trying to control everything in life, of trying to be super perfect about everything, and having this this mental anxiety over our life and our future. With Pisces, we just flow. You can think about just swimming in a river of life with this Pisces. That's the vibration that we're supposed to head more towards, so our life becomes more balanced. And then South Node being in Virgo, so it is in Mercury area, right? Our mental energy has to go through the process of releasing something, letting go of something. We already had one eclipse in March helping us to do that. There will be another eclipse season in September, also Virgo Pisces activation. So we are heading towards another round of karmic lessons that will help us to see that certain things in life will happen, we want this or not. We can't control everything. So let's just flow with life in a more gentle way. Let's have more of the surrendering energy. Let's trust also our gut feelings and our heart and our intuition. And let's believe that everything is working in our favor, instead of having this anxious Virgo panic and this need to control everything, analyze everything, overthinking everything, to the point that you get stuck in your head and you are unable to make any move. So those notes are very important with this new moon, to remember that our mental energy is going through the process of detox, right? So when this Mercury is now connected to the new moon on May 27th, there is indeed some new beginning, but it requires you to also let go of certain things. And it's something that it's not really helping you to progress. It's blocking this new beginning that it's waiting for you here in this Gemini sector of your life. So your mental energy is everything. Remember, like, whatever you focus your attention on, it grows. So if your mind will be focused on negatives, it will not believe that this is possible. It will just not even try. It will not make the first move, because you will just believe inside, internally in your mind, that this is impossible. Then you are right and nothing will happen, right? So you see how mind is important in our life. we make choices with our mind. And if you think about choices, they build our life, right? Every day we make those small choices. Even when we wake up, like in the morning, the choice we do, even what time we wake up. Do we have enough time in the morning to actually have some quality time, some slow time, you know, for drinking our coffee or tea? Do we have enough time for routines? So every single minute you make some choice, and this choice is turning to be your life in the end. You know, you choose the people you have around you, people who are your friends, you choose the person that you marry, you choose to either have or not have children, you choose this job or that job, you choose those studies or this kind of study, you choose to travel to this country or that country. It's like all the time there is some choice. And Gemini rules choices. In Gemini you have always at least two options. So this new moon might be about you choosing something, you choosing some option and working on this option. And why I'm saying working is because this new moon is in sextile to Saturn that will be in the 0-degree Aries. Saturn is moving into Aries on May 25th, and from that time we will be creating some new beginnings. We will have to be very autonomous, independent, individualistic in those new beginnings, because that's in Aries. So this new beginning is about me, myself, and I. What do I want, right? Aries, fire, passion, my desire, what I want for myself. It's not about what other people want from me, it's about me and my choices. So this Saturn energy is united with Neptune, which is about your dreams, your creativity, your vision, your manifestation, right? So Saturn grounding Neptune, not so much, but together this is the energy of making your dreams come true. Saturn, Neptune together in the beginning of Aries, sextiling beautifully this new moon in Gemini, which is inviting you to recreate, reset, make some rebirth in this mindset that you have, and also make right choices that will be with Saturn long lasting, and with Neptune they will align you towards your dreams, what you truly want to create. You can, by the way, watch my Neptune video and Saturn video in Aries, both in Aries. I made those videos a few weeks ago for every rising sign, and also intro is important to watch. So please watch these videos if you are new to my channel, if you haven't seen them yet, because this will also help you to understand in what kind of energy we are now. There's so much going on in terms of shifts right now in May, June, July. It's just a lot. So it's worth to really study astrology for 2025 so you can make right choices with those energies. And this new moon is definitely here to invite you to think about this new choice more. Second alignment, Pluto is in trine, in harmony to new moon. So trine gives this beautiful energy flow, and also Pluto is in sextile, giving opportunities to Saturn and Neptune. So there's like this very nice harmony here going on. Pluto is now retrograding in Aquarius, and it's inviting us to rethink for the next couple of months till October what kind of future we want for ourselves. Aquarius is about future, progress, innovation. It's also about freedom, alignment, authenticity. So we are now rethinking this transformation that we are going through for some time now with this Pluto in Aquarius, in order to transform ourselves into what we truly are, because maybe there are some social expectations, social labels on us that we still didn't detox from ourselves, and we still can't be sure who we truly are deep down. So this Pluto in Aquarius is helping us to find this authentic self. I also have video about Pluto retrograde in Aquarius, so I will link those 3 videos for you guys, and you can watch it, and then you will be better prepared for this energy, because both Saturn, Neptune, Pluto, all of them are aligned with this new moon in Gemini. Another thing is that we are having Jupiter ending the cycle in Gemini. So this is our last new moon in Gemini, with Jupiter being a part of this Gemini stellium. It's not a part of new moon, it's too far away, but it is still in Gemini. And Jupiter is giving blessings, opportunities, growth, expansion to our Gemini house since May 2024, the end of May. So you can think what was going on in this house where you have Gemini and your placements since last year, end of May. What you went through, what kind of growth, what kind of expansion. It could be also in the shadow side too much overindulgence. With Gemini, too much thinking, too many options. You couldn't choose because there was such an abundance of choices in this house where you have Gemini, that maybe you got stuck a little bit in this anxiety, right? And also there could be a lot of communication, a lot of thinking, a lot of words, a lot of interaction, maybe a lot of using internet, social media, writing, chatting, expanding your mind, expanding this mental energy in your Gemini house. So many of you now, when you look back where you've been at in the intellectual and mental level in May 2024, in this area of your life where you have Gemini, and where you are now at, like this 1 year, how much have you learned during this time? I'm sure that many of you can tell that there was a big information, big knowledge, lots of wisdom, lots of expansion, lots of new facts, lots of new teachings, lessons that you went through in the last few months, 12 months of your life. I can definitely say that in my case it was absolutely true, and I expand a lot my knowledge about this house where I have Gemini. So I hope for you also it happened, but also I discovered that it was too much, like too many options. In the end I was unable to make the choice because it was just a lot. You know, Gemini wants to test everything, try everything, and so with Gemini very often we just have a little bit of everything instead of this one path, one choice, and one deeper understanding, right? It's like a butterfly energy kind of thing. So this Jupiter in Gemini is ending this stay in Gemini on June 9th. So that's another indicator of some sort of expansion, that it's possible still with this Gemini energy and with this new moon. And remember, the new moon starts and then it's unfolding for the next 6 months. So that's just the start of the process. It's like a garden. You plant new seed, then for 6 months the seed is growing, and you are growing with the seed, and you are taking action. You are expanding your intentions. Remember, manifestation is not about just thinking that I want this. You have to take action. And then you have the full moon, which will serve you as a peak of this energy, and from seeds you will see fruits. 6 months of process, right? So new moon, full moon, they always come in pairs. So this time around we have the new moon on May 27, and we're gonna see fruits on this new moon on the full moon in Gemini, which will happen on December 4th 2025 at 13 degrees Gemini. So this is the first half of Gemini, which is mostly here activated. So whatever is that in your chart, very important. It's gonna be a very helpful new moon to deal with this Saturn and Neptune in Aries, new energies, new beginning, new start that has to be long lasting. We are creating some very strong foundations this summer, June, July, August, when Saturn, Neptune are both in Aries. This is our first glimpse of this new transit of Saturn and Neptune, when we will be starting something new, which has to be very much aligned with our true self, our true passion, Aries energy. We are also having this Chiron in Aries, helping us to gain more confidence, to heal our warrior spirit. We had those eclipses also in Aries for the last 1.5 years, activating this individual autonomous warrior spirit in us. So I feel like we are pretty ready, and this new moon is really serving us beautifully to align with those new beginnings. Also, shortly before this new moon, there is a meeting of Sun and Mercury with Uranus, the planet of change, the planet of revolution, awakening, genius mind. So also we have this this support from universe. You can think about May 17th when we're gonna have Sun Uranus meeting, but this will be felt a few days before and after. And then Mercury in Taurus will also align with Uranus, and there will be like this strong mental energy of awakening, of opening up to progressive thinking, to some, you know, liberation from those expectations from previous social boxes. You might start to feel like you are breaking free from some very old mental cages this May and June. So energy is preparing us slowly but surely towards this beautiful new moon, and then whatever you will plant on this energy. And remember, it's not about like making big moves. New moon is very introspective. It's more about this inner thinking, reflection, some sort of healing even, especially this mental energy. As we have karmic nodes operating on our mental energy, definitely we have to let go of something. Some old ways of thinking about this Gemini house, they have to go. And remember now, after 1 year of expansion, with Jupiter in Gemini house, we are now more enriched about what those themes of Gemini are all about in our chart. So we can use this wisdom, knowledge, those facts to set new intentions for the next 6 months to get more growth from whatever we discovered with this Jupiter in Gemini. I'm not gonna lie, this is not the best transit ever, Jupiter in Gemini. This is like, you know, two opposite energies together, because Gemini likes those details and facts, and Jupiter is about this wider perspective and bigger picture. So for many of you, actually, you can let me know in comments, how did you experience this energy? How was your Gemini house operating with this Jupiter in Gemini? Because I feel like for me it was a little bit too much, as I mentioned before, like abundance of choices, too many, a lot of changes there, a lot of, you know, instability. There was a variety, of course, lots of mental activity as well, lots of thoughts and communication and travel and moving, but I feel it was like this typical Gemini energy in abundance that led to nowhere in the end. It's like expansion, but like I told you, social butterfly, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but like you can't show off with something like really big and tangible there. Although always, you know, Jupiter gives some opportunities, and if you know how to use it, and I tried to use it, and I think it went pretty well. So it's still some sort of help, and also Jupiter could show up as somebody becoming your teacher, or you're teaching other people, or you meeting people that that brought you lots of knowledge. So definitely it had positive vibration, but I think like we can definitely look forward more into Jupiter being in Cancer from June 9th, which will be much more aligned. This will be a great energy, and I think it's gonna bring a much more blissful, positive manifestation of Jupiter for our Cancer house till June. But still, till we have this Jupiter in Gemini for now, let's use this Gemini energy. Last time, no more Jupiter in Gemini in the next 12 years, guys. So it's our last blissful energy here. For you to understand how this new moon can be operating, let's see how this was looking like last year. So every year we have one new moon in Gemini and one full moon in Gemini, and last year it happened on June 6th at 16 degrees Gemini 2024. Yes, so think back then, what was going on in June? Did you start something there in June? You've been maybe using this new moon to manifest something. That was a very good new moon as well, because it was Sun, Moon and Venus united at 16 degrees Gemini. So for many of you, this Venus could brought extra blessings, some new relationship, some positive connection to women, especially beauty, maybe knowledge about beauty. Venus is financial, so for some of you it could be about expanding your finances. Venus is also very artistic, it's connected to fashion, you know, being attractive, and love, of course, love and self-worth as well. So as that happened in Gemini, this last new moon in June 2024 could bring some new beginning in this area of life, especially you gaining more mental knowledge, clarity, information about your Venusian themes, like what is attractive to you, what you need in relationships, you know, beauty knowledge, like beauty treatment, financial abundance, what is blocking you there in your mental energy. It could be related to some very beautiful travels. Many of you could go through some amazing travels last year with this new moon. And also Jupiter was, and Mercury, there was like a stellium in Gemini. Jupiter, Mercury, Sun, Moon and Venus all together meeting in Gemini, creating this amazing stellium. And also Pluto was trining this stellium, at least Mercury and Jupiter was in trine to Pluto. So that was a very expansionist time, and I feel like it brought lots of information and communication into your life. And then there was a full moon ending this whole cycle on December 15th, 2024 at 23 degrees Gemini, when Jupiter was retrograding. So there was some illumination over this process, some completion, some ending. Maybe you start to see things more clearly with this full moon. So whatever you went through during this time, those 6 months last year from June till December, now this can serve you as information for this new moon. You can use this to your growth. You can see what didn't work back then, if there was something not really working, what did work, what you did like in this previous cycle of new moon, full moon in Gemini. So now you can continue, you can repeat, you can use all this amazing teaching of Jupiter since last year in Gemini now to make it better, right? To make better choices, to use your mind in a better way. Any sort of learning, writing, speaking projects, amazing time to manifest for this new moon. Yeah, another thing that I need to tell you is that a few days after this new moon we have Mercury Cazimi. So after just 2 days, let me see when exactly, May 29th. So May 27th new moon, May 29th Mercury Cazimi in Gemini, 9 degrees. So Mercury Cazimi gives this clarity, mental reset. So you see how much we are supported in really turning this this brain we have into a proper mental engine, you know, something that will be supporting our project, something that will be our own cheerleader, improving our communication skills, improving our relationships with siblings, with neighbors, with our local community, things related to our car, to transportation, to vehicles, to social media, to how we also read information, how we search for information, how we detect facts from lies. And talking about that, Saturn in Pisces was squaring Jupiter in Gemini 2 times last year. You can think about August and December. Saturn in Pisces is about no more illusion, no more lies. And Jupiter in Gemini is like information, a lot, eating this those news in the morning, like overindulgence in this, right? So there was some realization over our illusions, maybe the clash between our dreams with Saturn in Pisces with the reality, or maybe Jupiter in Gemini brought all those options, all those choices, and then Saturn in Pisces was like, okay, but what is realistic in those options? What is truly possible? If you want to choose A or B or C, this choice has to be grounded in reality with Saturn in Pisces. It can't be just your own imagination or some La La Land with pink colored glasses. So in August and December there was this reality check for all of us. So whatever is Gemini and Pisces in your chart, there was this conflict. There was this energy of trying to restrict something, especially, you know, Saturn is the lord of restrictions and limitations and karma, consequences. So it was trying to face all those options, those multiple possibilities, and this abundance of different projects you would like to start, maybe with this Gemini. Saturn was trying to take you down to earth and ask you, okay, but like, you have limited time on this earth. What from all those options, what from all those choices you are choosing in this life? Because you can't do everything at once. You can't live in 10 countries at the same time. You can't study 20 languages at the same time. You can't be at university studying 5 different degrees, because you don't have enough capacity and time for this. You can't be married to five girls at the same time. You have to choose one. She will be not perfect, that other one will have something that this one doesn't have, but you have to choose one of them, right? Because that's how life works. Same with choices regarding where to live, choosing between private life and family life, choosing even like where to go on holidays, right? Or which car to buy, or where to invest your money. There could be a lot of choices that we've been dealing with in the last year. And for sure, from all those choices, the priority number one is your self-worth, self-being, self-love, and everything that is aligned with your authentic self. So I feel like the Saturn in Pisces was also helping us with those restrictions and limitations to actually release certain choices and certain options that deep down we don't have them, because this is not aligned with who we truly are. Like, this choice would not satisfy me, this choice would not make me happy, because my authenticity is different. It's not aligned with this choice. My belief system is different as well. So if you have any stories from some limitations, restrictions, from some delays, some blockages, karmic blockages, in this energy in August and December last year, you can also share in comments if you wish. But remember, we're gonna have number 3 of this transit in June, but this time around it's gonna be in Aries Cancer, beginning of Aries, beginning of Cancer. If you have any placements in cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Capricorn and Libra, you will feel it very strongly. Saturn and Jupiter, restriction of expansion kind of thing. This Jupiter wants to grow, it wants abundance, it wants to believe that everything is possible, but Saturn will ground this energy, will show this energy all the limitations in reality. It will show some sort of limit of time as well. And it will face you with consequences, so you can truly think about this choice, if this choice is truly something that's something for you. Okay. And the last thing we have to know is that in May we have Jupiter in Gemini squaring karmic nodes. So this expansion of Gemini, this big amount of choices, those options are very connected to what I told you before, that we have South Node in Virgo, overanalyzing, critical energy, controlling energy, trying to plan everything, trying to have everything under control. And if control is lost, then this energy becomes anxious and worried and afraid, and it's in this mental cage of 8 of Swords in Tarot. And then we have North Node in Pisces, the guidance for the lesson towards Pisces. Chill out. Everything is perfect. You are guided. Everything is unfolding the way it should be in your life. And there is this belief in Pisces that I just flow, I surrender to the process, because I trust that everything is good. Everything can teach me something. And I don't have to control everything in my life. To a certain point, my life is controlled by other higher forces, and I believe them. I believe that I am here to grow, I am here to evolve. My soul came into this incarnation in this moment of time to experience all those processes, sometimes painful, sometimes wonderful, but all of this is serving me. So that's the karmic lesson, karmic direction for us with the North Node in Pisces, to surrender, to let go of this control. And now with this Jupiter in Gemini squaring those two nodes, we might be also confronting the information of how much our own mind is controlling us, how much of our own growth, abundance and expansion is blocked by our way of thinking, our way of perceiving the world, our way of blocking ourselves internally with the way how we think about the situation, right, and about those choices. So sometimes when we don't know what to choose, it's good just to, you know, make this first move, the first step, see how this goes. And that would be the Pisces energy with the North Node. Just try, just see what happens. In the end, nobody knows outcome of anything. You know, people get married, they don't see the outcome that in 10 years they're gonna maybe go for divorce or cheating, or people decide to have babies, they don't see that in 5 years maybe they're gonna be dealing with some difficult health issue of the child. People move to a new country thinking that they're gonna be happy there, and sometimes they are, and sometimes they can't really adapt to the culture. Sometimes people do the opposite. For example, they get married with some skeptical mind, not fully being sure about the choice, but then they end up having a happy life with this person, and so on and so on. Like, choices in life are really impossible to be done 100% perfectly, because we have no clue about the future. It's unknown. Even when you do astrology reading, I can see your transit, I can see what kind of energies you will be going through, but I have no idea how this will exactly manifest in your life. Every single life is so unique, and that's why I use astrology rather to know the weather of my life, to see that, okay, where I'm gonna have Saturn for the next 2.5 years in my chart, so I know that what is in my control over that is that I can work harder, I can be more disciplined, I can show my integrity and maturity in this area of my life. But what kind of challenges will I have? I don't know. They will show up, you know, sometimes they show up through people that I didn't even meet them yet. I don't know these people. There will be new people, maybe new partner, new family member, new colleague, new friend, new co-worker. Somebody will enter my life and will play this role of either Saturn or Uranus or Pluto, and I have no idea about that. I can't really, you know, predict 100% how my life will unfold, and that's the North Node in Pisces. While Virgo would love to know all the plan. Okay, on May 15 you're gonna meet your future husband, on June 16, 2028 you're gonna have your first child. Like, some people want to have this kind of astrology reading. Not here, guys. No idea how people can do it and live with this, because I feel like a part of life is to be surprised and to just have this curiosity about what tomorrow may bring. And I feel like all those aspects all together are so well connected to this Gemini energy, which is about being curious, being spontaneous, taking the leap of faith, you know, traveling to that country and see what happened, going for a coffee with this person and see what happened. You think about new business, just start it. You want to have new website, you want to start, you want to see how it is to have a social media platform, you want to see if your Instagram or YouTube page will grow if you start, just start and see. Nobody will tell you how this goes, and that's what Gemini is all about. I just go and do it. That's why it's so aligned with Aries. They are connected by sextile, because Aries is very fast, spontaneous, and enthusiastic, and is trying new things. It's about new freshman energy. And then Gemini is this, you know, having this young spirit. Like, when you think about how you used to be as a teenager or very young at school, like your spirit so fresh, so light-hearted, without those worries about what might go wrong. The more bad we experience in life with time, the older we get, the more worries and skepticism and cynical energy enter our mind. So this new moon is perfect time to think about that, if it's worth to live life this way, if it's worth to just constantly worry and trying to have everything under control and plan. Let's just live. Life is just an adventure for Gemini. For Gemini, it's all about expanding, talking to this person, reading that article, traveling to that city, jumping here and there, gaining knowledge, gathering this all. Gemini is also the messenger, so I feel like for some of you, this new moon can bring some new messages and new communication. If you're waiting for some message, for some reply, for some answer, you are searching for a new job, you wait for somebody to respond to your CV maybe, or maybe you will have some new meeting with someone. 1 second. That's this donation tea I'm asking you for. Thank you so much, guys, all of you who are donating. It's very, very kind. Thank you. All right, so I think we can just jump now into every single house and see how you can use this energy for manifestation. But I'm very excited for this new moon. Again, remember, it's very well aspected. It's very mental, so focus on your mindset. It's very good to start some new affirmation for your Gemini house to enrich this abundance of this Jupiter's ending the cycle, but still being there. And then we're gonna have Mercury in Gemini for some time. So yeah, Aries rising, you are having the new moon in Gemini on May 27th in your 3rd house. So this is where Gemini is at home. Here you have siblings, local community, neighbors, communication, learning. This is your car, short-term travel. You using your words, thoughts, talking, writing. So it would be a great time to set some new intentions, some new ways of communicating, some refreshment, letting go of what's not working and starting fresh in this area of your life. You can also see how last year looked for you with the previous new moon, what worked, what didn't work, what you could change. You can watch intro and see all the information about the previous new moon and full moon, and also Jupiter in Gemini. We are ending Jupiter staying in your 3rd house, so those are your last days of expanding this 3rd house. So think if there is something that you could do for the next 6 months about those themes in your life, and what kind of fruits would you like to see in December on the full moon. May this help you to set proper intentions and manifest something great here in this 3rd house. For sure, very good for social media, new website, new business, starting something new here regarding travel as well, and studying, learning maybe some new course, some new ways of absorbing information and improving your communication with your local community here as well. Think what you can learn from being in this local community. Okay, that's all I have for you. Thank you. Taurus rising, you have Gemini in your 2nd house, so that's a perfect new moon to set new intentions regarding finances, material possessions, self-worth, self-love, using your natural talents here, gaining more stability in life, more safety, more security, doing your best to reach this peaceful, stable energy in your life. So whatever you've been doing since last year with Jupiter in Gemini, expanding this house for you, bringing you more knowledge, more wisdom, now you can use this whole growth to set new intentions for the next 6 months, and you're gonna see results in December. So think where you want to be in this financial sector, self-love situation, self-worth, beauty, stability, what you want to have in the material realm. Think where you want to be with those things in December. Use it as a manifestation for the next 6 months. Thank you. Gemini rising, you are having new moon in your first house of I am, self-identity, the way you look, the way you present yourself to the world, the way you start new things. So that's the house that starts everything else in your life. It's a great new moon to reset your identity, reset your way of thinking about yourself, especially about how you show up in the world, how you use your words, how you communicate. And those things related to mental energy. Think about your mind. Remember that you are not what you think. That's a big message for people who have Gemini in the first house, because very often you can identify yourself with your thoughts. So for you, this detox of mental energy is super important. You have Gemini, this Jupiter in Gemini crossing your first house since May 2024. So there was for sure a lot of expansion for many of you, lots of travel, lots of learning, lots of studying. You could expand your mind, you know, see other cultures, other ways of living, lots of expansion regarding your physical health and body. Many of you were possibly working on your look a lot with this Jupiter, and especially through the mental energy, absorbing knowledge about how to do it better. So now with this whole expansion that it's coming to an end, with Jupiter ending the stay in Gemini in June, you can set some new intentions for who you want to be. Think about December as a point of fruition of this new moon. So you have 6 months of working on your way of presenting yourself to the world, your self-image and your communication skills, you interacting with other people. So this is something definitely to focus on, and the more you're gonna be working on that, the better this full moon in Gemini in December will look like for you. You're gonna have this full moon in your first house, showing your efforts, bringing consequences or rewards of your actions. Think about stuff like bodybuilding, health matters, your look, your image. And you can also watch my intro, where you're gonna have a lot of information about what kind of astrological processes we are going now with those energies, and then you can apply it to your first house, where you have your self-identity, your I am energy. Cancer rising, you have new moon in Gemini in your 12th house, so very deep, very spiritual, very soul kind of energy, also related to hospitalization and healing. So for some of you, this last year, since end of May, with Jupiter crossing your 12th house, could be a lot about healing, spiritual healing, maybe psychotherapy. You could have very intuitive and spiritual time. Maybe some of you wanted to rest more, retreat more with this Jupiter. Now this transit is coming to an end, so you're supposed to have more expansion of this spiritual side. You could know better your subconscious fears, your subconscious patterns, some energies that are blocking you from, you know, behind the scenes. So having Jupiter in the 12th house, for some of you, it could be also like dealing with some illness here, needing to heal, needing to rest and sleep more. But this is coming to an end. And as we have Gemini in your 12th house, so this mental energy is very important for you in terms of releasing some subconscious toxic unhealthy patterns. So you can use this new moon as a restart of this 12th house patterns. If you discovered something last year and this year with those transits in your 12th house, something that it's not healthy, it could be some addiction as well, some self-talk that it's not really healthy, that it's blocking you, some fears, this will be the energy to work on. Some new intentions, some reset, some illumination over this house. So good luck for you guys with this new moon, and see you next time. Leo rising, you're having Gemini in the 11th house, so that's the new moon for you. That's a very nice house, very social, friends, groups, networking, your future goals, dreams, wishes, manifestations. So you can focus on your future and friends first of all with this new moon. Think about what would you like to achieve here and where you would like to be in those themes of your life in December 2025, when we're gonna have full moon ending this cycle of new moon, full moon in Gemini. So you can use May 27th to manifest here. And you had also Jupiter in the 11th house for the last year, so let us know in comments how you expanded this area of your life. It could bring you some new friends, some teachers. There could be a lot of gatherings, social meetings, creating network. Maybe some of you were very active in online world, and also it could bring lots of abundance in your goals and aspirations and dreams and gains from your career. So maybe for some of you there was some extra money here as well. And you also just expanding mentally, seeing the future in a more positive, brighter way with this Jupiter. Jupiter very often brings a very positive expansionist approach. So let us know how did you experience that, and now set beautiful intentions for the next 6 months, so this house will look even better. Thank you. Virgo rising, first of all, you have South Node on you, so you definitely have to release a lot of mental energy. Virgo is ruled by Mercury. South Node is asking you to let go of anxieties, worries, controlling energies, perfectionism, so you can focus on that for the whole year. And now with this new moon that it's aligned to the Mercury energy, it's happening in your 10th house, where you have your social status, reputation, career, who you are in the public space, right? Like your position in society and your ambitious goals. So you've been having Jupiter since last year, since May, in this house, which could give you some new opportunities in this expansion in your career sector, professional life, public life. Some of you could also went through process like getting married, very often Jupiter in the 10th house, changing your social status, right? And also you could have some options here, many options even with this 10th house. Maybe you've been trying to do a few careers at once, or you've been trying to balance different tasks, or maybe your career went for this energy of having, you know, a bit of this, a bit of that. So let us know in comment, how did you experience Jupiter moving through your 10th house? What kind of growth did you experience in your professional life? Was there many choices? Now this transit is coming to an end, and you can use all that you learned with this Jupiter, all those options and choices. You can choose the one that calls you the most and focus on this one with the new moon. Something that is most aligned with who you truly are, with your freedom, something that will give you more variety. It will be more interesting, it will be more stimulating, because you're having Gemini in the 10th house. You get very easily bored at work, so you need to have some type of career that will give you this Gemini vibration of quick tasks, changes, some differences, meeting different people, talking, communication and stuff like that. And so let us know how this all goes, and see you next time. Thank you. Libra rising, you are having Gemini in the 9th house, and Jupiter is also there since May 2024 for you, expanding this house. So here you have teaching, higher education, spirituality, your philosophy of life, belief system. Here you also have foreigners, foreign travels, different cultures, dealing with people from abroad, dealing with things from abroad, different countries, expansion of all those things. So I am curious, how was your experience with this Jupiter energy in your 9th house? What was going on? Maybe there was a lot of traveling for many Libra risings here, or you've been studying a lot of new things, expanding your spiritual, philosophical knowledge, you know, learning those higher things, the big picture of life with this Gemini. So now your energy can be very much enriched And you could also see different options coming into this ninth house, maybe moving to this country or that country, or exploring different cultures, maybe trying to choose something for yourself. There could be options about either moving abroad or traveling somewhere or dealing with people from abroad. There could be a lot of energy coming to you internationally. Or if you are publishing something, teaching, studying, there could be also a lot of this knowledge coming to you, even from social media, from internet, or from communication with other people. There could be some teacher that entered your life. So now you have a new moon in Gemini in this house. So use all the experience that you went through in those last months. Jupiter is now ending the stay in your ninth house, so this is your last new moon where you can use this expansionist growth energy, abundance energy of Jupiter and plant new seeds for the ninth house, and think what you want to see as a result in December from your efforts. If there is some goal that you have regarding publishing, maybe you are publishing something in the internet, like even YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, or you are thinking about selling some courses, or you want to gain higher education. This is all about Gemini. Also, if you want to deal with anything that is regarding legal matters, visas, moving abroad, changing some status here regarding country where you live, right? This could be also the time to set new intentions for that. It's a very beneficial new moon, so use it for your growth. And yeah, good luck with this one. Thank you. Scorpio rising, you are having the Gemini new moon in your 8th house, very deep house. This is your house. So you could be dealing with a lot of themes regarding shared resources since last year, since end of May, when Jupiter was crossing this 8th house for you. Inheritance, loans, taxes, money from government, so some social help, gifts from other people, just joint finances, joint resources. Maybe you having some business partners, or having to deal with some, even just expanding your knowledge about those things, right? Like studying tax systems or inheritance rules, or whatever was your case. There was expansion here. You could have many options. You could have some opportunities coming from those themes. Second things, 8th house, sexuality, deep intimacy, soul merging connection, karmic connections. So some of you could be also having an opportunity here. So let us know how was your expansion of this 8th house. Now this is coming to an end, and that's the last new moon in 12 years where we're gonna have Jupiter in Gemini and new moon in Gemini. So that's some area of life where you want to think about to reset this area, to start something new. 8th house sometimes is also connected to healing, trauma, shadow work, transformation of pain into power. And you have this Gemini energy here, so it can be very much about mental energy, your thoughts, maybe some healing therapy, talking therapy. Like you can actually do your shadow work through talking, journaling, just using your words, pouring those words out, writing a blog, sharing your experience in social media, using your words, using your mental energy to deal with some difficult situations in your life that happen to you, and that can really transform you. So that's the shadow work tip, and that can be a part of this new moon intention. Think where you want to be in December with the full moon that will bring fruits of your labor for the next 6 months. Where do you want to be? It can be very much about healing. Okay guys, so that's all I have for you. Thank you. Sagittarius rising, you are having the new moon in Gemini in your 7th house of relationships. It might be a new relationship or new chapter in the existing relationship, especially connected to communication, to how you communicate with your partner. You had Jupiter since end of May last year in this house, so for many of you there could be a lot of opportunities coming from other people. Some of you could literally start a new relationship. It could be very beneficial. Some of you could have many options in terms of partnerships, Gemini options, choices. Maybe you didn't know what to choose. Or there could be a lot of this mental energy coming from other people, lots of talking, lots of chatting. So now you guys can set new intentions for this house, use whatever you went through, whatever you expand in this house in those last few months with this Jupiter, which is now ending. You will not have Jupiter here back in 12 years. So this is the very last new moon where you can use the abundance of Jupiter in this house and the freshness of the new moon to start new chapter of growth and abundance and blessings for the next 6 months regarding your relationships. You know, this is the house of marriage, of some business partners, working with therapists, you versus other people, right? So it's still a very beneficial energy for the next 6 months coming from others, communicating with other people. So think if there's something that you would like to refresh here and start again. And you can also think about your mindset and belief system and your own way of communicating with others. But first of all, those mental blockages regarding relationship can be the case for you, for some of you to work on with this new moon. So good luck with this one. Thank you. Capricorn rising, you're having Gemini in the 6th house. So new beginning in the house of routines, health, work, pets. Maybe some of you will get yourself a new pet, or you already have maybe. There was expansion of the 6th house for you since May 2024 with Jupiter crossing this house. This transit is now ending in June, so that's the last new moon in 12 years in your 6th house with the presence of Jupiter. So it's worth to use the beneficial energy to expand this house. If there is something that you need to heal, something you dislike in your health energy. With Gemini especially, you can focus on your hands. If there is some issue with your hands, or this mental energy like anxiety, nerves, some, you know, restlessness, something that is not letting you really relax, and you might have lots of stress with 6th house Gemini. So think about how you use your mental energy if you don't need a little bit more of relaxation, if there is not too much hectic environment in your work and too much, you know, talking, too much information, too much, you know, calls and stuff. It can be a very, very active house for you. So new moon, new intentions for health, new intentions for your work environment and co-workers. If there is the case for you that you have co-worker and you would like to maybe start fresh with this person in terms of communication. Also, you could be learning a lot about 6th house matters, which, you know, this house is about healthy life, wellness, diet. So you could be exploring, you could be learning with this Jupiter, absorbing lots of information. So now you can make some choices, new choices for this house. Choose something that will keep you healthy. Think where you want to be in the 6th house themes in December this year, when we're gonna have full moon ending this cycle. So now you have this 6 months of work over the 6th house matters, 6-6, for you, in order to become more healthy, in order to have better work conditions. Maybe you want to change the job. It's also possible. You've been having South Node for the past 1.5 year. The whole 2024 was for you having South Node in the 10th house of career. So South Node, some release. So who knows, maybe some of you will actually choose to work in a different way. You have Pluto in the 3rd house, in the 2nd house, sorry, finances, some transformation. So, you know, maybe some of you will have this new fresh ideas about how you can work as well. Let me know what is happening in your head. What kind of choices do you have regarding the 6th house? What was going on since May 2024 in this sector of your life? And good luck with this one. Aquarius rising, you're having Gemini in your 5th house, so that's a great new moon to have. 5th house is a very lucky house, usually it brings joy, love, dating, children, happiness. We are very playful in the 5th house. It's the house of creativity, of starting new business, of enjoying your hobbies. So whatever creative you would like to give birth to, that's a new moon to use to manifest. Especially in Gemini, it's a lot about writing skills, speaking, selling, publishing, talking, you know, using your brain, using your words, teaching, learning. Maybe some of you would like to become teachers. You know, maybe you'd like to start working with children here, or for some of you it might be a manifestation of a baby. 5th house, those of you who want, or new love, new dating stories, somebody new entering your life with this new moon. You might be just setting new intentions for meeting somebody new as well if you want. You could also have a lot of expansion of those themes in the last year. Since May 2024 you had Jupiter in the 5th house, so let us know in comments, what did you grow in this house, number 5? What was going on? Was there a lot of information, lots of words, lots of teaching, lots of children energy, maybe playfulness, maybe lots of dating, or lots of romance and love? It's very, very great always to see how people experience this house. I actually started my own astrology business having Jupiter in the 5th house transit, so for some of you that could be the case, that maybe this will be a new chapter of that. And the fruits of this new moon comes in December, so think where you want to be with those themes I mentioned for you in December. Use it as a manifestation and use all the growth that you went through since May 2024. This will give you better understanding, more clarity about your choices, because you do have a lot of choices in this 5th house. You might want to do a lot of things at the same time, but with this new moon it's worth to gain more clarity over what is truly important, what will give me some long-lasting happiness and results, what's my true dream. You know, this new moon is aligned with Saturn, so we have to have a little bit more sober approach to those matters. Pisces rising, you have Gemini new moon happening in your 4th house. Family, housing situation, your roots, your emotional safety, your private life. That was under expansion since May 2024 with Jupiter being in your 4th house transiting. You could have many options regarding housing, for example, or there could be a lot of communication in a family, or you could be expanding your situation in terms of where do you live. Maybe you moved abroad. Very typical when we have Jupiter in the 4th house, we move abroad because this energy knows no limits. Or maybe you had options to live here or there, you couldn't decide. And so with this new moon you can set some intentions for this area of your life. It can be connected to your family members, especially your mother, but in general to your parents. It could be about expanding your family in numbers. Some of you with this transit could literally have a baby, or get married, or just start a family. And if not, this new moon, it's a good energy to set new intentions for that as well. So whatever you want to see regarding your housing situation, your family situation, your emotional situation, private life situation, real estate, in December, treat this as a fruits of this new moon. In December we're gonna have full moon in Gemini, so where do you want to be in those matters, and what you can do to make this true, right? Saturn is sextiling this new moon, so we have to do the work, we have to be disciplined, we have to start something new on very stable long-term fundamentals. So for you, definitely 4th house is the case. Some of you could be going through lots of healing, also discovering some truths about your family, generational trauma. In 4th house, very often we go through some sort of therapy, inner child healing, it could be very positive. You could be going on some talk therapy with this energy, or just by yourself discovering the psychology behind certain things. The root of the matter in the 4th house. This is the root of your horoscope, so everything begins here. You could be discovering your family history, for example, or even your country history, expanding knowledge about that, you know, history about your motherland, that can give you some insights about your own psychological side and your traits, right? This Jupiter is now leaving your 4th house, so those are last days of Jupiter expanding this area of your life. So it's definitely worth to use this new moon with this beneficial, abundant energy of Jupiter to make some good choices, decide what you want to grow, decide where you want to be in 6 months from now, and work on that systematically. Maybe you will need some money with this Saturn Neptune starting to be in your 2nd house in Aries. So those 2 houses are aligned on this new moon, and this is the time for you to think about this housing and family situation in a very serious, rational way. So that's all I have for you guys. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you like what I do, and see you next time. Bye.